have urged the population to appreciate and be grateful for the availability of the utilities. This, as Gonzalez recalled, time in his life when he had to fetch water using a bucket from a nearby river. Gonzalez, I want you to understand something. I want you, Mr. Gonzalez, to understand something. You are being paid thousands of dollars by public utility, by the finance ministry, to govern WASA. Come on. To govern WASA, I want you to understand that you ain't going in no office for no free code. You are being paid. Do not tell me that I, Saeed, have to be grateful for the water I get it. Let me tell you something, Gonzalez. Every 4 months, I have to pay $400 and I get water once a bloody month. So don't come on a media briefing and say, Saeed, you have to be contented. You have to be happy. Marvin, the next best thing for you to do is to resign and get the hell out of here. gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I'm your host, Saeed. Thank you for joining us tonight, viewers. Remember, share our live stream, viewers. And for those of you who want to invest with us, remember we have the 4% going on our fixed deposit. Remember, you can get your interest up front, viewers. Remember that. Very soon, we have Real Talk Credit Union in San Fernando. We are already working on our building in South, viewers. So, South people, we coming to you just now. So, from our program tonight, viewers, just over 100 days since the Solo Creed, the tugboat behind the oil spill off the Cove coast in Tobago abandoned the barge it was towing after it got stuck in a reef, spilling hundreds of barrels of bunker fuel along the coastline, was seized in Angola. Since February 5th, the ship automatic identification system location broadcast has been switched off, and 2 days later, on February 7th, fuel began leaking from the overturned, clearly abandoned barge. However, on May 11th, the Angolan Navy reported that a Solo Creed was seized off the coast of the African nation capital for unauthorized breach of its claimed offshore oil security perimeter of oil extraction. Despite the determination of the Solo Creed being reported in local media in Angola, the news report did not mention the ship's role in the oil spill in Tobago. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has also stated that the internal claim of the oil spill in Tobago has dropped from 30 million US to 23 million US. He explained that the claim is being processed through an international body that assists countries affected by oil spill. So hopefully Trinidad and Tobago, hopefully we can get this $23 million that Stuart Young was talking about. How much it's going to cost to clean up Trinidad and Tobago waters with the oil spill. 23 million, not bad. Some will say it's plenty money, some will say it's a little bit of money. Some will say, well, why spend all that money? But we don't know the scenarios of which company involved, how much they're charging. The public have no info on that. How many companies involved in the cleanup, how much one company is charging to clean up. We don't have that information. I guess we ain't, how to say, we ain't good enough to get those information. But nevertheless, moving along. Paria Fuel Trading Company Limited has stated that it is in discussion with attorneys representing the families of the Land and Marine Construction Service Limited divers, LMCS, who submitted their claims for compensation after their relatives drowned. The company said it is looking into all available options to support the families. It said the company has not spoken directly with the families and described the compensation negotiation as an ongoing process. It says the company is actually aware of the pain, grief, and financial hardship suffered by the families. So let me have a little discussion here now. The company is aware. The company is aware of the pain and the grief, the financial hardship, and the suffering. Okay? The company is aware of it. But has the company or officials from the company went to the family's home or give them some sort of food voucher? This is the interesting part now. You are aware. I am aware of the hardship I am aware of the pain and the suffering. I am aware of the financial burden. These men and them were breadwinners of families, since they died. The wife and the children, who is supporting them financially? Paria is aware of the financial hardship, right? But did Paria contribute anything financially to assist the family as a grant? Did Paria do that? Or let's just say of your charity department then. All companies have a charity department. We have. So, the charity department didn't find it fit to support their worker. I'm asking. You're aware. You ain't deny that you're aware of it. You are aware. You're telling the public you're aware. But did you do anything to help while the negotiation going on for compensation? It's sad, you know. It's really, really sad in this country. The release ended by saying Paria and its insurers remain committed to finding a way forward and swiftly and fairly as possible. On November 29, 2023, Attorney Prakash Ramada, who is representing some of the families, appealed to the government for gratuity payment for all families faced by the tragedy. He called the process obsessed and obscured, saying none of the families has been paid a single cent. Ramada said the affected families have children who attend school without a father or a breadwinner in the home. You see, this is the sad part about it. The companies are aware of it. They are aware of it. But are they feeding? Are they paying the bill? Are they giving them a grant until whatever comes along? It's sad, you know, boy. It really, really is sad. I wonder if members of the board, if this was their family, what would have happened? What would have happened? Would they have rushed the process? Would they have bypassed certain things just to make sure everything runs smooth? I don't know. I'm asking Paria. 2386716. I want to hear what you have to say, Trinidad and Tobago. So we're moving on to Mbut. Finance Minister Tong Mbut laid the much disputed Audit General report on TNC on Trinidad and Tobago 2023 account in Parliament, dismissing a false claim that the ministry backdated account. He also faulted several more aspects of Auditor General Jayanti Ramdas' handling of the matter. Mbut said he was advised that Ramdas' refusal to consider the amended account prior to April 16th was unlawful because it was... Let's listen to this.
Moreover, the Auditor General's refusal to receive and consider the amended public accounts prior to the 16th of April 2024, I am advised by Senior Counsel that this was unlawful and irrational. It was unlawful because it constituted a failure to fulfill her duties under Section 116 of the Constitution and Section 9 of the Act, and it was irrational because it was inexplicable that the Auditor General would refuse to consider such amended accounts in the course of executing her duties to examine and audit the public accounts. Quite seriously, the Auditor General's allegation that the Ministry of Finance, or the MOF, simply backdated the original accounts and attempted by way of administrative sleight of hand to sweep under the rug the fact that an error had occurred and the MOF had not sought the reasonable extension of time from Parliament to rectify same, and other such allegations in similar vein are patently false.
Now, Colin O'Clongenbert, was this before the phone call or after the phone call? Which one? Was this before or after? Imbert also revealed that apart from those dates, neither the original account nor the amended account indicated the date on which they were prepared, as it presents TNT's financial position as of September 30th, 2023. The minister said all accounts, including the amended account, were certified dated April 16th or 15th. Listen to this.
The dates on which those certificates have been signed are endorsed on the certificate. Apart from those dates, neither the original public accounts nor the amended public accounts state or indicate the date on which they were prepared. These accounts represent the financial position of Trinidad and Tobago as of September 30th, 2023, irrespective of the date on which they were prepared or certified. All accounts included in the amended public accounts, which contained amendments made after they were originally submitted to the Auditor General as part of the original Treasury statements, were certified in the amended public accounts by way of certificates that were dated the 16th or the 15th of April 2024.
Now, viewers, he said none of the accounts included in the amended accounts were certified the 31st of January 2024, and added that any suggestion that the amended accounts were backdated is false. Imbert also noted that it was incorrect that the ministry simply replaced the old revenue figures with the new ones without showing any amendment to the national accounts. Imbert.
None of the accounts included in the amended public accounts, which contained amendments made after they were originally submitted to the Auditor General on the 31st of January 2024 as part of the original Treasury statements, was certified in the amended public accounts by way of certificates dated 31st January 2024. In the circumstances, the amended public accounts correctly identified the date or dates on which the accounts comprised therein were certified. Thus, any suggestion that the amended public accounts were backdated in some way is inexplicably false. Madam Speaker, there was also an allegation that the MOF simply replaced the old revenue figure with the new one, without showing any amendment to the national accounts. This is incorrect.
So Trinidad and Tobago, on other points, Imbert said the allegation that the ministry was unable to account for over 700 million was false. About a different sum now, you know. Paula, good night.
Good night, Mr. Saieed, and to you and all your listeners.
Go right ahead.
You see that audit report, Auditor General report, tells us two things. The PNM continue to do the same thing, and I suspect money going in people's back pocket. This thing about spending $26,000 US for a company to buy some devices to check old iron and steel and things.
Correct.
That gone to Indonesia. The man said they do due diligence. But my problem, if you do due diligence, did you do vendor validation? So if you do vendor validation, you want to know where this company going. So I want to find out if any Trinidadians have account in Indonesia. It had a fellow by the name Roy About. He had a company in Hong Kong, you know. And I'm saying he titled that. All you should know who we're talking about. This is a repeat in the Manning regime when a Korean company got a large contract to build daycare centers.
Correct.
And they go on with all the money and we never get it. And I think there was another one, they call it Bamboo's Communication, that the energy Zine, Trinidad and Tobago, the finance minister tell him, do invest in that. And we lose $30 million in that too. So it looks like the PNM continues to use the same playbook, and the end result is the same sort of corruption. Again.
Thank you, my friend. So now, just a little update with the 26,000 US that was sent to Indonesia. So look at this. We have a cyber unit in Trinidad and Tobago. Okay, good. How functional are they? Right, number one. Number two, we're talking about Trinidad and Tobago government being conned of 26,000 US for a company in Indonesia that do not exist. So that is number two. Number three, we were conned. We were conned. Is the Minister of National Security or the Ministry of Finance, are they going to bring in the FBI? Listen to this. This is where I call the company gone international fraud. Am I correct? From Trinidad and Tobago, 2386716. Let me hear what you have to say. International fraud. Good. Is the FBI going to come into Trinidad and Tobago to investigate this $26,000 from a company in Indonesia, or is it going to go under the carpet? Is the cyber unit in Trinidad and Tobago, are they going to investigate? Now, 26,000 US dollars, right? They say it was wired from Trinidad to Indonesia. Okay, good. The company packs up in Indonesia. Now, a wire transfer leaves trail. I do wire transfer from my account to accounts in Trinidad, company account outside of Trinidad and Tobago. So I could give you a little idea. I could open the vocabulary in your brain, I could expand it a little bit. So good. Saieed now transferring from his company 26,000 US to an Indonesia company for the advice. Good. This company have to have a bank set up, a company account in Indonesia. Who is the owner of the account? Which company? Good. If it's a limited liability, you have to have directors. That's number one. If it's a sole trader company, you have to have an ownership. That's number two. So, is this 26,000 that we were conned of? I will use the proper word. Conned, outsmart. Is the Minister of National Security going to investigate this? Is the Ministry of Finance going to investigate this? Because in any country you go and you open an account, I'll tell you something. They need your picture, they need your name, they need your address, they need your business contact, they need who you're associated with. If it's a limited liability, 2, 3, 4 directors, sole trader is a person with a picture on our system. Come on, Trinidad and Tobago. When Real Talk Equipment Rental opened its account in Guyana, in the banks in Guyana, they took my picture. They took my picture. They took my address of my land in Guyana. Now, for the land in Guyana, we have documents. It's under my name. It's under my name. Good. So when I went to the bank now, with all my requirements, your name, your age, your date of birth, your address. Is a company? Okay, work with all your company documents. Boom, the bank have it. On top of that, they take up the tier. So they have all my information of Saeed's name and address in Trinidad with a local contact number in Trinidad. My name, my contact, my address in Guyana, and my IDs. Come now, man. So who now in the Ministry of Security or in the Ministry of Finance going to investigate this $26,000 that, hey, you think it easy for a government to be conned? It's shame and disgrace. Paula, good night.
Hey, good night.
Go right ahead, you're live on Real Talk.
Saeed, boy, be arguing for 26,000 US. Again, the Auditor General just fined almost $3 billion.
Correct.
That they cannot account for. $3 billion they cannot account for. And not a single person, not a single public servant so far has been disciplined or questioned about it.
Exactly.
Instead of bring an outsider to ask questions of public servants. Public servants don't speak to anybody outside of the public service.
Mm-hmm.
Saeed, remember Las Alturas?
Yes.
Millions and millions of
Correct.
dollars wasted. The building fall down. A commission of inquiry, and the commission of inquiry end up saying, well, nobody is to be blamed.
Correct.
Nobody, after millions went down the drain. Listen, you remember a fellow named Cola Hat?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes, remember Cola Hat and it was Nipdek. Cola Hat is from Indonesia, eh? Let me remind people. Cola Hat
Cola, what
was
just to say that again?
back with the wife to Indonesia.
Tell Trinidad and Tobago, where Cola Hat from?
Cola Hat, I believe, the records are he's from Indonesia. So, you don't know, and remember, the man behind this money transfer is a fellow with the name Imbut also, eh? So, we should find out where is Cola Hat and what, if there is at all.
Correct.
Some kind of connection, boy, something mysterious here. Or that money making us swing back to come back for the election campaign. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. So you see, viewers, $26,000 US. You would tell me we so stupid in Trinidad and Tobago? And due diligence, they did their checks, they did their balance, they did their whatever it is. They checked out the device that's supposed to be shipped. And all of a sudden the company gone. Come now, man. Or, so you would tell me, you want to tell me a company in Indonesia outsmart the government of Trinidad and Tobago? The Trade Ministry Department? Paula, go to school, let me tell you something. You want everybody, they should be fired. Immediately. Immediately. Lack of accountability. Lack of accountability. Now, not much people is talking about this. But it's 26,000 US dollars. You know what shame that is on behalf of Trinidad and Tobago? The Ministry of Trade got conned by an Indonesia company. Conned, outsmart. It's a shame. It's a stinking shame. An Indonesia company outsmart Ministry of Trade in Trinidad and Tobago. That's not trust me, they're going to make international news just now. You see what we highlighting it? You see what Real Talk highlighting it? They'll make it international news just now. He was on. Go pay school, you ain't easy, you know. You see the person who wired that money? Let me tell you something. Due diligence, all a check, all that should be held accountable for that. All that should be held accountable for that. See if there's any fraud, any friends investigate. Hey, watch man, but it was some other country. In Trinidad, we just lackadaisical, we don't care. If it's mountain falling down, we do business. If snow falling in Trinidad, we do business. The country flooding out, we do business. So viewers, We're going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, we have an issue up in Aruka to deal with. After that.
Become a member of Real Talk Credit Union, now located at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chaguanas. Open a fixed deposit with Real Talk Investments and get 4% on interest with interest payment being paid upfront. Get in contact with us at 238-6716, 231-6219 or 339-1670. Real Talk Credit Union Cooperative Society Limited. Plant a seed today for a better tomorrow. Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Report Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Report Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chaguanas or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
To Real Talk viewers, in Aruka, there's a fire hydrant that leaks every time Wassa turns on the water. As one. Meanwhile, in First Street, Aruka, there are sewer problems, and every time it is reported, nothing is being done. So Trinidad and Tobago, let's take a look at this. Paula, good night. Hello?
Yes, good night.
Now, with the water flowing from the sewer that is actually showing on television right now, tell us a little more about this.
Well, anytime they turn on the water, then instead of the water go to the village home and going in the hydrant and leak it.
Mm-hmm. So this is the hydrant, right?
Yes.
Right. So every time Wassa turn on the hydrant, there's a big leak, water spilling by the gallons.
Yes. Yes, and then that is the sewer you're showing there, where all the mess water going into the little river there, and that going on to the back of Page, where the people using that same water to water the garden, and they doesn't know that. Oh. So what we eating or who eating the vegetable, they know that is the sewer water, they water in it down the way.
Oh, okay. So give us the exact location of this.
The exact location that we're seeing, that is Andean Avenue. That is behind Jacoana House.
Oh, okay.
Yes, easy. You come up 4th Street and then you get Hillview Drive on your left. It has the sign marked Hillview Drive. When you come up, the 4th corner is Jacoana House. The second corner is behind. So as you turn on the second corner, you're seeing that suspect thing there going on, and then higher up is the hydrant.
Have you reported this to the authorities?
Mr. Said, I tired call and report this thing, and they're doing nothing. They're doing nothing.
Now, when you reported this sewer problem, did anybody come and check the site?
No, one day I saw the truck come and look at it, and they go on the way, and that was it.
Wow.
Yeah.
My friend,
And nothing since.
thank you so much for highlighting the matter.
Yes, and look at the mess, because this is what I'm saying. The people down in Pasha doesn't know all that sewer water coming down there. But I mean, when the water mix up on all different places, they take in the water in the garden there, the vegetables and whatnot. Because that right at that river running at the back of the market, the wholesale market. And all down inside there is vegetables, gardens. So they doesn't know it's a sewer water they're using.
I understand. My friend, thank you so much for highlighting the matter. Hopefully, those in authority will look at it.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you. Allah bless you.
Thank you, my friend. So, Trinidad and Tobago, this is why we just tell you. We are the #1 current affairs program in Trinidad. You know why? We highlight the issues that need to be fixed by the authorities. By the authorities. You saw it just now. Hydrant leaking every time Wassa turn on the every time I turn on the pressure, hydrant leaking, thousands of gallons of water wasting. Secondly, now it is filtered down in a drain, and sewer is being washed down to farmers in the area. It's sad. It's really, really sad. Wow, let's hope the authorities will look into the matter very, very fast. Now, I want to send out a happy belated birthday, 4th belated birthday to Andrea Rampasad. So this is little Andrea. She's 4 years old. I believe Friday was her birthday. Saturday come in. Oh, yesterday was her birthday. All right. So Andrea, happy birthday from Real Talk and the staff. I know her dad, her family is locked on to Real Talk every single night, Monday to Friday. So thank you, folks. So as we start back our program tonight, viewers, remember we at Real Talk, we are offering you 4% on our fixed deposit, viewers. The thing about this is that you're getting the interest payment up front. So if you sign up for 5 years or 10 years or 3 years on a fixed deposit with us, instead of waiting that length of time for your interest, you're getting your interest up front. You could go off for vacation, you could renovate your house, you could pay down on a car. So don't let the opportunity pass you, viewers. Take advantage of it today. And remember, be members of the credit union also. Open a savings account, buy shares. Remember that. Very soon, we will be in San Fernando, viewers. Hopefully, within the first week or the second week of July, Real Talk Credit Union will be opening in South. And it's the same offer going on to the South people. Just now, we could be up in the East. Grandi, Arima, Port of Spain, Princestown, Rio Claro, down Cedra side. We coming. When I tell you we expanding, we expanding. We'll talk of the Caribbean also, Guyana, Grenada, Barbados, and we going to Dubai. I am sharing my plans with you. And you know once I tell you something, always, let me tell you something. Always see over the years I have left that track record. We'll talk finances in Guyana. We go in Grenada, Guyana, Barbados. We'll talk credit union, we'll talk financing, and we're growing. When you're blessed and God sent you to be a leader, you are blessed and you will be a leader. So viewers, as we start back our program tonight, Auditor General 2023 report now raised concerns over ministries' non-compliance with legislative requirements, role, and regulations, and a breach of the rights of the Auditor General. Now, color member will know his rights, and the Auditor General, Ms. Ramdas, will know her rights also. And both of them going by the books. Both of them. We ain't sure for Colin, but I'm sure for Ramdas. Because if there wasn't a mistake, she would not have raised it. Now, the report laid before Parliament by Finance Minister Colin Imwood flagged many issues that prevented the verification of expenditures. Call a good night.
Mr. Said, great program as usual. I want to let the citizens of this country know 50% of the water produced by WASA is wasted. For the last 2 weeks, I've been reporting a leak. Thousands of gallons of water wasted, and the leaks are like 200 feet apart from each other. Well, they came last week, at Saturday, they repaired it, but it ran for 2 weeks, and they're telling citizens to save water, and they will charge you if you caught using a hose. Anyway, Mr. Said, I want the citizens of this country to know, this is the land of political thief, bubble, corruption, underhand dealing, and lying. Nothing good is going to happen in this country. You know, it was said on your program years now and continue to be said. Half of the money, billions of dollars is stolen every year. The citizen money, you know. So nothing good is going to happen in this country. And the other political parties that are vying, they're coming up with nothing new, you know, to tell the citizens of this country how they're going to account to them. They have to account to the citizens. So you've seen all the other political parties that are launching and so on. It's the same old wine, old story in different bottles. Nothing will happen good in this country until they change the way the politics are in this country. Mr. Said, we have to form your own party. Thank you. God bless you. Keep up the great work.
Thank you, my friend. Now, viewers, among Ramdas' many challenges were accounting officer documents to support payment of public money totaling $386 million were not produced by the Ministry of Finance for audit examination. Another example is that the lack of supporting documents such as letter of award, contract agreement, and delivery notes were not presented to substantiate payment of $5.4 million for medical equipment under the Ministry of Health. In the Ministry of Public Utilities, a payment of $25 million was made to WASA under Communication Water Improvement Program for the financial year. Furthermore, on examination of the accounts, a Polish report was made on a matter relating to the Ministry of Trade, the development of the eco-friendly business sector, scrap iron. Now, it states that by the memorandum dated the 5th of the 9th, 2023, the ministry has advised that the overseas payment of $26,000 was made on the 10th of the 7th, 2023 to a company located in Indonesia for the purchase of 4 laser analyzers for the use by the scrap metal inspector. Let me tell you something. It's real bacchanal, real documents that wasn't forwarded to her. This is some of it that, like we just said. Now, Dr. Keith Rowley has described the confusion between the Ministry of Finance and the Auditor General, Jayawati Ramdas, surrounding the understatement of revenue in the Auditor's Report 2023 financial year as unnecessary and dangerous bacchanal. So I want to ask Dr. Keith Rowley something. You call it dangerous, unnecessary, and is bacchanal. So if Navin doing the audit for Real Talk, and I am sending all the documents because me had documents to support it. Good? But Navin auditing me. Navin now, report now, send back to me, Said, I ain't seen no documentation for this 10,000 you pay. I ain't seen no documentation for 26,000 you pay. And I ain't seen no documentation for this 100,000 you spent. Where's the documentation for this? If I don't have it, how can I provide it? If I don't have it, how can I provide it? Which means I'm trying to squeeze 100,000 by a 10,000 by a 5,000. by at 26,000. But we sending everything, the expenditure. Now we're not seeing the documents. So same thing, the Ministry of Finance submit their documents, Ramdas ain't seen documents to back up money spent. So when asked now, it raises a concern. Dr. Rowley, the Prime Minister for Trinidad and Tobago, now saying it's unnecessary, it's dangerous, and it's bacchanal. Well, now listen to this.
I'm quite surprised at this development and very disappointed that it would have happened. There's an investigation taking place, and I, like everybody else, would want to see what the investigation says, because this is not the kind of thing that I anticipated. I was first informed that there was a problem in, I think it was early March. As a member of Parliament, I am very familiar with Auditor General reports going to the Parliament. I've been in Parliament now for decades, and it's a standard thing. It's not, it doesn't turn the country upside down.
No, Dr. Rowley, it do not turn the country upside down. But the thing is, money missing and accountability is required. Documents are required to show where money spent. Rowley said, as the Prime Minister, what he does not take very lightly is someone accusing the Ministry of Finance and backdating books, which is very serious allegations. Listen to this.
On this occasion, something happened which I'm still quite distressed about it, because as Prime Minister of the country, I don't take very lightly a public official, especially one involved in audit, telling me and the rest of the world that the Minister of Finance has been engaged in backdating the books. That's a very, very serious allegation, and it has far-reaching consequences.
Now, viewers, he also noted that this has turned into an unnecessary bacchanal and a dangerous one. But he, just like everybody else in Trinidad and Tobago, is waiting the outcome. Listen to the PM one more time.
So you could imagine when the Auditor General is saying to the world that the Minister of Finance has backdated the finances, and all kinds of interpretations being put on that alleged action. So I knew about this in March, and this thing came to a head in a public spat towards the end of April. And I just had to look on helplessly as Prime Minister. I had no role in it, none whatsoever. Because it's all a matter between office holders who are specifically put to handle specific actions in handling our finance. No role in there for the Office of the Prime Minister. I don't work with or direct the Comptroller of Accounts, the Treasury Department, none of it. Least of all the Auditor General. But I do know that a problem arose for cause requiring sane and sober behavior. And just as we've done in many other things, it has been converted into an unnecessary, dangerous bacchanal. I too will wait on the outcome of the investigation to see and to confirm what has happened here.
The viewers, we're going for a short commercial break, but when we come back from this break, we want to find out, is there a plan to remove Auditor General?
Become a member of Real Talk Credit Union, now located at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chagonas. Open a fixed deposit with Real Talk Investments and get 4% on interest, with interest payment being paid up front. Get in contact with us at 238-6716, 231-6219 or 339-16 470. Real Talk Credit Union Cooperative Society Limited. Plant a seed today for a better tomorrow.
Now, viewers, opposition leader Kamala Prasad Bisesa has called on Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley to say if the government plans to have a tribunal appointed to investigate and remove the Auditor General, whom the government has been hounding around. Listen to this.
This is a table from the 2023 Auditor General Report. It is on page 94 of that report that they refused to lay in the Parliament. But in Trinidad, what happens in the darkness always comes to light. And so at page 94 of that report, we are seeing the government borrowed over $12 billion in the last fiscal year. And we see that since 2019, that report, this is not statistics, this is data. 2019, 8.3 billion borrowed. 2020, 16.5 billion. 2021, 13.7 billion. 2022, 7.3 billion. Last year, fiscal 23, 12.4 billion. You know which money is borrowed in the last couple of years? $58 billion by this government. That is what the report tells us. Look at it there, it's in black and white, from page 94 of that report. And I'm asking them, can the government say, are you doing well? If you have to borrow $12.4 billion in 1 year, are you doing well? If you have to borrow $58 billion, are you doing well? So they pelt us with these stats. But really they mean nothing. That is not reality. Look at
Previously, you have a call good night.
Yes, sir. Good night.
Go right ahead, my friend.
Saeed, concerning this issue with the Auditor General, I don't know if you can remember some time ago on a political platform, the Prime Minister had come out and he did say that the two major political parties in the country, there's whole secrets of one another. You can remember that statement he made that? You can remember he made that statement? Right, the two parties, there's whole secrets of one another, right? Now, apparently they thought that the Auditor General would have hush him out and let everything slide, according to what's going on here. Because from where I stand in, the Auditor General got paid to do a job, you know.
Correct.
And if she finds discrepancies in the whole financial audit, she has to bring it forward. And if they cannot account for money that's missing,
correct,
she has to bring everything forward. So where's the big problem? I scrutinizing the woman. I don't understand where this big investigation come out from. You pay somebody to do a job, they do a job, they tell you money missing. You have to send in documents to prove that X, Y, and Z was spent on whatever. They cannot do that because money is missing. You follow what I'm trying to tell you?
Yes, yes, yes.
Now, the whole situation comes down to this now. The same person that cannot account for the missing money coming to tell me and you that we have to pay property tax to refill the treasury.
Correct.
And them squandering we money, public funds, and cannot account for that. That is not their money, you know, Saeed.
Correct,
that is not their personal money, you know. That is state funds, you know. And every ministry have a part to play in it somewhere looking like, and nobody's accounting for the money that is being spent.
True.
But now you're coming to tell me that I have to pay property tax for something I work on. I already paid taxes 2 and 3 times on to build my property. When you buy a property and you have to pay stamp duty on its side,
correct,
people know how much stamp duty there is. When you transfer a property from somebody's name to somebody else's name, you have to value the property and pay stamp duty on that property to transfer the property to somebody else. People know all of that. But then again, too, they come and tell you that they had to tax you now to come and pull back the treasury because why? The country running low on funds, but all this squandering money, all they can't account for it.
Thank you, my friend.
People to trust. All they expect people to trust anything all they're saying. Let me tell you something, aside. I got a person standing outside the box here, and from where it's looking like, they cannot account for money that's missing, point blank. I don't see the Auditor General being the problem there, you know.
No.
To me, looking at the finance minister and the Ministry of Finance is the problem there. And if she's saying that they wanted to backdate books, well, yeah, what's going on? All they had to investigate here, you know. Because they had to look at the trend he was coming down. When he first came into office, the man get rid of Jawaharlal Rambaran.
Yes, yes.
Who was the central bank governor.
Yes.
Why he do that for? And Jawaharlal carried them to court and the man wins $5 billion. Call him and paid out of his pocket. No right taxpayers' money jump out there again. But people not looking at the issue. Because PNM is them party. Them don't care how much money they waste or how much money they spend. If that is grass, they still vote in PNM. That's the issue here, side. This country, listen. This country have a serious race problem that people need to understand. And they need to bypass that if they want the country to move further side. Anyway, you enjoy your night.
Thank you, my friend. So, viewers, previously, Mbud admitted that a $2.6 billion error in the public accounts for 2023 compiled by the Ministry of Finance. Now, he said the error was made from a switch from a manual to electronic check-in clearance system in February.
I was very clear that the genesis of all of this confusion, if I can use that word, was the introduction of a new electronic check clearing system by the central bank. I was very clear about that. That prior to 2023, the central bank would send physical copies of checks to the Board of Inland Revenue, properly sorted and tabulated and so on. And then the staff at the Board of Inland Revenue would physically look at each piece of paper and determine what the true revenue situation was. A new system came in February 2023 where everything is now done electronically using images, electronic images. So no longer do you have this bunch of paper traveling from the commercial banks to the central bank to the Board of Inland Revenue. And it is clear that arising from the introduction of that new system, errors were made, because an error was made. There was a posting, a double posting of refunds of approximately $2.6 billion. I need to explain this because people have turned this thing upside down and around and made a complete distortion of what really happened.
You have some explaining to do, and you might as well come out now and start explaining so you could clear your name. Moving along, Ministry of Finance, Stuart Young, have stated that there is nothing unusual about the government paying $1 million US in tax to Venezuela with respect to the country's Dragon gas field. Are we getting gas from Dragon field? He said, responding to questions from Opposition Senator Arnold Robert, Young said, the Minister of Finance, or the Ministry of Finance, has a number of companies in TNT that are paying US on an annual basis for scholarships and way above $1 million, and they have not begun to explore the fields that they have granted the license for. So all you're paying $1 million for something that only ain't start yet, and we in Trinidad businessmen, we can't get more than 200 US in the bank. Young, come now, man, don't be... Isn't every country in the world welcome to milk Trinidad and Tobago? I'm asking a question. All you're paying for a field that we ain't started to work on it yet? All you're paying tax for something we ain't sell yet? So I want to ask this question. Is somebody getting a cut in this? Why is Venezuela receiving $1 million from the Dragon gas field? We even have a bolt in it yet. We ain't get a washer or a bolt and not to sell. All you're paying $1 million US for what? For what? No production? No production and $1 million US? Hey. I want to go how to take that money out of all your pocket now to pay. If all you would have paid. Stuart Young, don't be a clown now, boy. And the Ministry of Finance, all they giving away we money to our next country, while all your own people in Trinidad, all your own businessmen suffering for money. And slackness they call that. $1 million US being spent for what? No production. What is that? The next point of your refinery? I'm asking a question, short young. You paid $1 million for what? Absolutely no production? All should be sent home, boy. They're quite telling earlier. All should be sent home. All listen to this.
Senator has referenced is a normal payment with the signing of any exploration and production license. In fact, just this morning in discussions with the Ministry of Finance and looking at it, we have a number of companies in Trinidad and Tobago that are paying us on an annual basis for scholarships for sums way above $1 million US, and they have not even begun to explore the fields and the blocks that we have granted licenses to them for. So to suggest that the sum of $1 million US being paid as part of the exploration and production license with Venezuela is something unusual, it absolutely is not. The revenue that we stand to benefit from and derive from this deal will be in the billions of US dollars. We will continue to progress. No one can predict what will happen with respect to geopolitics or anything in life.
You're talking nonsense. You're talking nonsense. Nonsense. Young replied, and remember, the population and $1 million US spent is a revenue-generated expenditure as compared to the $400 million plus spent on live sport that proceed nothing but criminals for Trinidad and Tobago to deal with. Listen to this.
The question that was asked and it was not answered was, does the government feel confident that $1 million US without the surety or the certainty that any revenue will be forthcoming to this country was a correct, responsible decision?
Minister. The answer is absolutely yes. That sum was negotiated downwards. And I take the opportunity to remind the population that that $1 million US spent is a revenue-generating expenditure as compared to the $400+ million spent on live sport that produced nothing but criminality for Trinidad and Tobago to deal with.
Next question on the order.
And Tobago, that is all we can give you for tonight because we are out of time. But nevertheless, stay tuned tomorrow night, Tuesday, 7 p.m. for more updates on these issues. Good night.